now?
Since the early months of 2021, there's been a noticeable spike in the amount of American workers that have quit their job. This ongoing economic trend has been called the Great Resignation. Here's a list of our objectives, which we will go over towards the end of the presentation. All of the data that we got came from the Bureau of Labor Statistics as Excel files that looked sort of like this, where the data was tabulated by month. To clean the data, since they all looked pretty similar, we wrote a custom function that cleaned them up and turned them into one coherent, clean data frame.
Here we have job openings, and this can be indicative of the firms ramping up operations as the lockdown started to decrease, but also because of the shortage in labor supply because of the Great Resignation. Here we have the civilian labor force participation rate. Here you can see it drops off because many people just give up working, either due to the safety reasons or just because firms aren't hiring anymore during COVID. Then you see it ramps back up as lockdowns decrease, but you can still see that they don't go back up to pre-COVID levels. Here you can see the average quit rate comparison for many industries that we broke down. The main takeaway from this is that every single industry saw a larger average change in quit rate between March 2021 until now, compared to before COVID, before the Great Resignation.
Here's a table of the most, the second most, the second least, and the least affected industries relative to each economic metric that we have listed on the far left column. Here we can get an idea on how different industries responded to the Great Resignation. Here, we also tried to create multilinear regression models to predict certain variables based off of certain other factors. For example, this one tried to calculate unemployment, and seen by this graph, it did pretty well with an adjusted R-squared value of 0.96.
So our main goals for this project was to find what industries have seen the largest changes in employee turnover rate in recent months / years. It was the accommodation and food services and leisure hospitality industries. What industries saw the smallest? It was information and educational services. How have the affected industries responded? They've increased capital, increased consumer prices, and raised employee compensation. And what affected industries raised their salaries the highest? It was retail trade.